Welcome to the first module of our foundation course in local and regional economic development. In today's dynamic global economy, understanding the why behind local economic problems, opportunities, policies and actions is more crucial than ever. In the next 5 minutes, I will set out what local and regional economic development is and why it's important. Of course, you may know it by things like local unemployment, local businesses expanding and creating jobs, the local high street having vacancies in some of its shops, entrepreneurship amongst people in your family, or young people trying to access a skilled job and trying to progress in the workplace locally. All these issues touch on local economic development. So what is local economic development? At its heart, local economic development is a collaborative bottom-up process that operates within wider national and global economies and markets. It's where local government, community organisations and the private sector work together within a defined geographical area, be it a town, city, district, region, state or province. Local and regional economic development is concerned with the social, economic, market and environmental system, rather than single factors or issues. And it is this system view that is a major aspect of local economic development practice. So, local economic development sets out to achieve three main outcomes: creating and sustaining jobs, generating local wealth, and improving the quality of life of residents. It's important to recognise that local and regional economic development is not solely about economic growth. It is more concerned with who benefits from growth and ensuring that the local community and ecosystem is not harmed. Why is this local focus so important? Economic well-being and quality of life are profoundly influenced at the local level and are profoundly different and often unequal between local areas. Macro-level policies alone are often insufficient. Local economic development provides the necessary place-based policies to efficiently mobilise local assets and address spatially differentiated market failures. These are intentionally targeted policies that improve long-term economic development and well-being outcomes and are sensitive to local conditions. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach at the national level, local economic development identifies and leverages a community's existing strengths, be they human capital, physical infrastructure, creative or cultural assets, to build competitive advantage. And do these local initiatives and services to stimulate economic development work? Well, absolutely. Evidence from large-scale studies consistently demonstrates the effectiveness of local and regional economic development. For instance, the Valuing Benefits of Regeneration exercise, which evaluated urban regeneration projects in deprived areas, found that the cost-benefit ratio was 2.3. That is, for every £1 of public expenditure, 2.3 pounds of economic output, or GVA, were generated. And this is quite high considering that the target areas were some of the most deprived urban communities in England. The British Library's business and IP centres, which aim to help with local entrepreneurship, achieved a benefit-cost ratio of nearly 7 for every pound invested, demonstrating high success rates for new businesses, particularly those led by female and Black, Asian and minority ethnic entrepreneurs. So these are cases that highlight a clear, quantifiable return on investment. Cities, regions and localities across the world are involved in local economic development policies and activities. Much of this activity is geared towards transforming local economies from their industrial past to the future, such as Detroit's efforts to transform through post-industrial decline. There's also a concern for who benefits from growth in the economy, and this is reflected, for example, in Leeds' inclusive growth strategy and approach. Other localities have an edge in research and development and technology-based industries, and they seek to further capitalise on that, such as Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. Local economic development can be often characterised by being tailored, collaborative, evidence-based, dynamic and adaptive, and results-oriented. For those of you new to local economic development, everything I've discussed in the last 5 minutes is a regular business for local communities, for local government, for metropolitan authorities and city mayors. These kinds of policy activities are very common. And if you can't see them in your local area, or your local area isn't active in applying local economic development initiatives, you need to ask why, and you need to explore why. Thanks for listening. This course is part of our free Explorer membership package. It's very much intended as a short foundational course for people who are beginning this learning journey. If you want more detail, more depth, and more hands-on practical guidance, see our main website or our community website. Thank you.